So it's approaching that time of year again where people are going back to school or back to college, and from my experience I remember wanting to kind of look pretty and wear a little bit of makeup, but you never want to wear too much makeup. In some cases, if you're a little bit younger as well, you can't wear too much makeup. So I think that it's important to try and keep your look as natural as possible, but make it very kind of beautifying and very awakening, especially if you're kind of getting up early in the morning to go to school, which I know nobody likes to do. So this is the look that I've come up with. It's very natural and neutral, as are all my looks. It's just a very kind of pretty, everyday, easy look that requires minimal effort, so you can do it when you're kind of half asleep in the morning, and it also is using mainly drugstore products. In fact, I think all the products that I've used at drugstore, with the exception of my brushes, so they're all available in Boots and Superdrug in the UK. So I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to start by applying a little bit of moisturiser, and you want to make sure that you choose an oil-free moisturiser just to make sure that your skin's kind of nice and hydrated for the application of makeup, and also I think it wakes your skin up a little bit. This is the Liz Earle Skin Repair Light Moisturiser for combination to oily skin. So I'm just going to apply this all over my skin and just smooth it on. And just let that sink into my skin for a couple of seconds before I start applying foundation. Now you can use something like tinted moisturiser or a BB cream. I love the Genvara Green Tea Nude Cover BB cream, and the No. 7 Triple Protection tinted moisturiser is a good option as well. But I'm going to use foundation just because I think that tends to be kind of what most people prefer. And I know that even if you're younger and you're kind of starting out with makeup, you still like to have that kind of flawless look. And especially in the morning when you first wake up, your skin can kind of not look its best, so it's nice to use something that gives a little bit more of a polished look. I'm using my trusty Bourjois Healthy Mix foundation. This is in the shade 54. I'm just going to pump a little bit onto my hand and then apply it onto my skin. Now I know it looks a little bit light, but you'll see once it's blended in, it blends beautifully, and I'm using the Real Techniques buffing brush just to blend it out evenly all over my skin, because my face is always so much lighter than the rest of me that I find that a colour like this is the best option. And I also find that a colour like this tends to be quite brightening when my skin is not looking its best. I've got a little bit more on the brush. Areas that need extra coverage, for me it's always my cheeks, because I've just got so much sun damage on my cheeks. Make sure you blend it onto your jawline and on your ears. Just to get a kind of really healthy look to the skin. So you can see already how much more healthy and kind of flawless your skin looks. So that's it, that's all the foundation I'm going to use, tiny amount. You don't want to look like you're caked in foundation. And then with my hands, make sure they're clean, I'm just going to press onto my skin just to make sure that the product's kind of melted into my skin and get rid of any lines that the brush may have caused. I'm then going to move on to a concealer, which is a super important part of this look. And I'm going to use the infamous Collection 2000 Lasting Perfection Concealer just under my eyes and on any blemishes that I might have. I tend to just use it kind of on areas where I need a little bit more coverage. I haven't got any real blemishes at the moment. And then with a fluffy brush, I'm just going to blend that all in. You want to make sure to blend it into the inner corners as well, because a lot of people tend to have quite a bit of kind of darkness in the inner corner. And then once again, hands, just make sure that it's all blended nicely and kind of help warm it up into the skin. So once we've got our base done and you're kind of looking better already, you can just add it on any other areas where you've got a bit of darkness, like my eyelids tend to get quite dark. So I like to just apply a little bit of concealer onto my eye area, right up to the brow bone, because it really brightens up the area. And I think you'll find if you've got kind of colouring that's similar to me, you tend to get quite a lot of pigmentation and darkness on your face, and you can see what an actual kind of brightening effect that has. It's great. Then I'm going to just very quickly powder my skin. I'm using the Rimmel Silky Loose Face Powder. Powder is really important because especially when you're younger, your skin tends to be very oily, and also if you've got kind of a long day ahead of you and you'll be in class and that kind of thing, you want to make sure your makeup stays put. So I'm just using a little bit of powder on a fluffy brush, just dusting it all over my face, concentrating it on the areas that tend to get the most oily, which of course is normally your T-zone. So now we're all good and powdered, I'm going to just use a little bit of bronzer. Again, this is an optional step, you don't have to do this, but I find that it's just a kind of nice way to warm your skin up and wake it up. I'm using the MUA bronzer in shade number 3. Great inexpensive bronzer. Big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to do the 3 motion, which means you start here and you take it in a kind of 3 shape, and that just kind of helps to A, sculpt your face, and B, just gives you a little bit of colour. So temples, cheekbones, jawline, and dust whatever I've got left on my forehead and my nose. Then I'm going to move on to brows. You can see I'm doing this really swiftly just because I want to show you how easy it is to do this look when you're hurrying in the morning. I'm just going to comb my brows first with a little bit of a brow tamer. I don't know why I said that. This is just the Blush Professional Brow Tamer. And then I'm just going to fill them in a little bit. Now if you've got brows that don't need filling in, by all means you don't have to fill them in, but mine really benefit from it. And this is the Natural Collection eyeshadow in Crushed Walnut. And it's just a kind of charcoal brownie colour. So it's really great for my colour eyebrows. And I'm just going to use it on an angled brush and just lightly fill them in, just to give them that little extra bit of structure. Just like that, super easy, super light, and just really quick. And then I'm just going to brush a little bit of clear mascara over them, just to kind of brighten the area again. And I'm using the MUA clear mascara just to keep everything in place. And I do find it kind of removes any excess shadow and just makes them look neater. So there we've got our brows done. And for eyes, I'm using a cream eyeshadow just because it's just such a quick, lovely way to do it, and you don't need kind of any blending or anything like that. And I'm using the Maybelline Colour Tattoo 24-hour eyeshadow in 35 On and On Bronze, which looks like this, and it's just a beautiful kind of shimmery, taupey, bronzy colour. And with a flat eyeshadow brush, this is by Eco Tools. I'm just going to dust this, well, I'm not going to dust it, I'm going to pat it all over my lid, especially close to my lash line, and then just blend it out with my finger. Like so. And again on the other eye, just because it adds a beautiful kind of sheen, and you look like you've kind of made a little bit of an effort, but it's just so easy to do. And I'm just going to leave my eyes like that. I'm going to apply a little bit of mascara. I'm going to use the Maybelline Illegal Lengths mascara on my eyes, and then I will apply a light coat of mascara to my top and bottom lashes. And the reason I chose this mascara as well is because it's got a very kind of natural, bushy-eyed look, so it really helps to kind of open your eyes, and you don't look like you've got tons and tons of mascara on, which I think is really lovely in the morning especially. Then I'm going to use some blusher, again perfect product for when you're in a rush, because it just instantly lifts your face up. And I'm going to use this blusher by Me in the shade Coral, which is just a lovely little box blusher, really bright but really beautiful. I'm just going to use a little bit of this on the apples of my cheeks, just to kind of really brighten up the face. Like so. And then last but not least, on my lips, I'm going to use just a kind of lovely balmy textured lipstick. You could use lip gloss, but I tend to think that does kind of look a little bit glam sometimes. So something like this, which is the number 17 lipstick in Beehive, is a great option because it's kind of balmy, a little bit glossy, not too much pigmentation, and just kind of makes your lips look beautiful. So a quick layer of that, and that is it. That's my back to school makeup look. I hope you liked it. I hope you think that it's kind of school appropriate. I think it's just a really kind of easy, pretty look that kind of just naturally defines your nice features but makes you look kind of awake and healthy at the same time. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.